You know, sometimes I wish we would just have behind-the-scenes cameras here to show you what usually happens behind the scenes with our guests. It's heated. Welcome back. This is People in Politics. My name is Victor Oloo. I have got Newton and Wakili Irungu here talking about politics, and it's still heated. Men fighting it out. All right, Wakili, you are talking about the net effect.
I was explaining that we have not been able to institutionalize our democracy. So you find the decision made by various party leaders still remains the decision of the members and of course the aspirant. So automatically the aspirants or the candidates vying under my Maendeleo chap goes to Kenya Kwanza. But just to finish on our earlier discussion, is that William Ruto is finding himself in a very bumpy road, play the politics of activism. I mentioned that the danger of William Ruto of 2022, he's appearing or he has positioned himself as an oppositionist candidate. So expect him to receive all the treatment, the welcoming, and the gift of an opposition candidate against an incumbent candidate in Africa.
Okay, and you know, Newton, you heard that. I mean, wow. All right. So, no, Kalonzo Mutua said that he decided to quit Azimio because one, he accused bigger parties of sidelining the smaller parties.
Yes.
They are not being included in the decision making, funds, and what have you.
Yes.
Any information you're privy to?
It is just obvious. The Azimio brigade, they are good at blackmailing, intimidating, and just disregarding any other person who can bring value. And that is why Alfred Mutua sat down and soul-searched himself. And he made a very big U-turn and came to Kenya Kwanza. Because in Kenya Kwanza, we appreciate every voter. And that is very key to any political persuasion. Because if you come with thumb-chesting demands that you can't tell us this, you can't tell us this, you can't tell us this, then people will run away from you.
Yeah.
And that is why even the common Kenyan can see the arrogance in Azimio. And that is why where they sit, they prefer to be in Kenya Kwanza, where they feel their aspirations are going to be fulfilled through our revolutionary economic model of bottom-up, kazi ni kazi, pesa mfukoni. Because honestly, Kenyans are suffering, and they are tired of these side shows that people, and the arrogance. You see, we have come to a place where our leaders are becoming arrogant. And yet as a leader, you're not supposed to be arrogant. You're supposed to be persuasive. You're supposed to be approachable. If you look at our Excellency, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, yes, people are saying, oh, he's going to come campaign ruthlessly. Let me tell you something. You know, you can never force a cow to drink water. You will never. And just an advice to them under the Azimio and the Azimio Coalition Brigade. This election is not going to be determined by threats, intimidations, and blackmail. It is not. It is going to be determined by the persuasion, the solutions you are offering Kenyans. And that is why Actually, I pity Raila Amolo Odinga, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, because him having Uhuru Kenyatta on his side is a detriment. It's a show cause of failure on his side. Because right now, if you look at this country, we are in a bad place. And let us say it as it is. We are in a bad place. Even the president himself came and started complaining and saying, these people, I gave them job. The CS of Interior, Matiang'i, was given an assignment. He has failed the president. And now because he has failed, he feels pain when people call him out.
Okay. And you see, that happened around last week or last week but one. But yes, then now, Wakili, the issue of zoning, which also Mutua talked about, that the zoning is something that they're not actually supporting. Why are they so much afraid of the zoning for ahead of the August polls?
Truth be told, the reason and the main reason why Governor Mutua moved from Azimio to Kenya Kwanza, it's not because William Ruto has the best economic ideology. William Ruto holds no ideology. Kenyans are suffering, but the alternative of their suffering is not Dr. William Ruto. The reason why he moved to Kenya Kwanza is a protest against the inclusion of one Stephen Kalonzo in Azimio. So purely the movement of Mutua governor to Kenya Kwanza, these are just local Ukambani politics in terms of the three governors wanting to have a coup d'etat against the Supremo or the kingship of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka in Ukambani. So it has nothing to do with the aspiration. Politics is not a commercial enterprise where people have a mission and vision. It's politics, so it's all about emotion.
Yes.
It's all about where your interests are catered. We normally say there are two things which are constant. One, the interest. The second one are the betrayals. You look for your interest before you capture state power. Then the betrayals come after then. But for now, Mutua feels that he has been betrayed in Azimio by the inclusion of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and now that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka seems to be given a lot of political mileage in Azimio, vis-a-vis them who started with Raila Odinga, the three of them, the three governors. So whatever we are being given is what I would call the Ukambani political supremacy. So it has nothing to do with William Ruto being the best candidate. In any case, he's not.
Okay. And what do you think about the zoning?
Okay.
Because that's what he talked about, and he said that some of the parties are feeling shortchanged in the Azimio la Umoja.
No, on the zoning, just to make some things very clear. One, and I want to give reference to Azimio activities of zoning. Look at Mombasa. They went, they pulled out a strong candidate on their end. They forwarded someone that people did not want. If you zone out Machakos, Machakos is a cosmopolitan county, or even Ukambani. Most of the counties, because their proximity to Nairobi is very close.
Yes.
If you start zoning out Machakos County to be particular region, let's say like to be for Maendeleo Chap Chap or to be for UDA and all that, you are limiting the choices of the people of Machakos. And that is why in Kenya Kwanza, there's nothing like zoning. Because let's say, let me give you an example. In Kakamega, I am contesting on a Democratic Party ticket. And my opponent is contesting on a UDA ticket. And yet the aspirations of the people, they feel like their interests are covered in this candidate of UDA. And we have zoned out Kakamega to be a Democratic Party. We are limiting those people from electing a leader that they want, a leader of their choice. And that is why in Kenya Kwanza, we are not for the zoning strategy that Azimio is using. Because when you start zoning, it's fear of failure. You don't believe in the candidates that you have. That is why you start bringing in the zoning. I saw them zoning out Nairobi County, including Westlands constituency, where a young man, Gumo, was told to step down for Honorable Tim Wanyonyi just because Tim Wanyonyi was not given the governor's seat, and now he wants to come back to Westlands constituency. If I was that young man, I would not have accepted to step down for anybody, because you are limiting the options of these Westlands people. Because for Westlands people to go into a nomination process, they elect you, and then later you forego that particular aspiration for someone else because they want just a position. That is something that is not supposed to be accepted.
Okay, Wakili, is zoning that bad as he is trying to portray?
Of course, all parties are doing zoning. To be fair, both Azimio and Kenya Kwanza. And the main reason of doing zoning is that even after you win the presidential ticket, and you are declared the president on 9th of August or 7 days after, remember you still have need another strong arm of government, which is the legislature, for you to govern. So you didn't need a majority member of parliament, you didn't need a majority governor. So it's a political strategy. I wouldn't wish to dismiss it. I would wish to advance it as a political strategy to both camps, either Azimio or Kenya Kwanza, to be a bit objective. Because even you remember, even in the gubernatorial seat for Kenya Kwanza, they were able to agree between ANC and UDA, which was pretty well. And even for Jubilee, they were able to agree between ODM and Jubilee and come up with Polycarp Igathe, who will be supporting our next governor. That one you can take it to the bank. But so it's a good political strategy. So far as no one suffers political prejudice, it's a good political strategy for both ends. For both ends, yeah.
And that is exactly Newton. Kenya Kwanza is trying to oppose, because when you have got candidate A and candidate B on both sides, and you want to win that particular seat, you'll have to do the zoning. And this is what Mutua was trying to say, that zoning was going to lock out smaller parties from growing. That's according to his statement he said yesterday, that zoning is going to stop him and other smaller parties from growing. But if you look at it, election is about winning.
Yes.
And when you talk about zoning, probably as a strategy, as he says it, is a way how you're going to win that particular seat. So why do you say it's bad?
I don't even know how we can compare
Flip it
that.
On the other side of Kenya Kwanza.
Yes,
Kenya Kwanza was the one doing it now? And I'm so sure even at some point, silently, it's done somewhere. Zoning.
It is not actually zoning. Yes. It's a consensus. And you see, consensus is where I call you Victor, I call myself, I call our friend here, we sit on a table and we look at the facts. But I can't just come and impose a decision on you without consulting you. And that is what is happening on the other side. And that is something that, as Kenya Kwanza, we are looking into not being partisan to that. Yes, if you hear William Ruto speaking on his end, he says, as UDA, vote for a suit. Because he is the party leader of UDA. From our end, as our party leader, that is His Excellency Justin Muturi, he speaks of Democratic Party, and he says, as you go to elect also the Democratic Party candidates, because he believes in them. There's no way he's going to go into Kenya Kwanza and not believe in his own candidates. He believes in Democratic Party, and that is why whatever he does in support of his party. And that is why Kenya Kwanza, we are keen to grow those political parties down there so that they can have a chance. But if you kill them now, what happens tomorrow? They will not be there. And that is why we are against the zoning aspect strategy that my friend, yes, it is a strategy, but in this time and era in this country, Kenya, I don't think it is something that it's supposed to be embraced.
Okay. DP is targeting independent candidates in Mount Kenya.
Yes.
What's the craze about independent candidates? Starting with you. Because we have got, nobody expected that number to shoot.
You see, the independent candidates are those candidates who have been pushed aside by some of these agreements that have been made in both coalitions.
Some of them just lost fair and square, Newton.
It is not about fair.
Let's be fair to the independent candidates.
Let me tell you something. In politics, there's this...
Let's be fair to some of these independent candidates. They were not pushed. Some of them lost elections fair and square, and decided to run as independent candidates.
Let me give you a notion, Victor. Yes. In Kenyan politics, if you're an aspirant, I've been an aspirant before. Right. If you're an aspirant and you lose in the nominations, the people who had targeted to gain from you, they will always tell you, hey, Mheshimiwa, don't give up. Just go independent. Because they are misdirecting you so that they can be able to make something from yourself. So those people who lost free and square, they are going to just subject themselves to another ridicule of losing twice. And my advice to them is just to forego those particular options of going for independent seats. They should just sit down and support. And you could see, even Jaguar in Starehe, he came to realization that instead of fighting Mbugua, let me support Mbugua and let me support the presidency of William Ruto. And you can see he's busy doing the campaigns across the country because he sat down and realized it's not about me. Because those who are going independent and they lost squarely, honestly, those are guys who are contesting, not for them. for the people, but for their selfish
Wakili,
interest.
we are expecting to see a different kind of a mix and match in different assemblies come after August, because of independent candidates. And that's a very big threat to political parties.
That's correct, Mr. Victor, and it's good. I start by laying a legal foundation that you can form government in two ways, either through a political parties or as an independent candidate. If in future we have a strong person who is running for a presidential candidate, you can even win it through an independent candidate. Secondly, is that Dr. William Ruto seems to be supporting these independent candidates during the day and destroying them during the night. For one fact or one main reason, you remember for him he's advocating for 6 Ps. So by saying that he's supporting these independent candidates, he's just managing them. But at the bottom of his heart and his party, of course, he knows that he's advocating for a 6-piece suit. That is true, but you should also remember that most of these independent candidates have a presidential candidate that they are supporting. So after even they win election and they elected to the parliament, definitely most of them retreat back to the presidential candidate and a party that even they were victimized. So not necessarily that they have an independent mind. They are an independent candidate, but they don't have an independent thought or any independent mind. And that is the biggest danger of it. So if there is an independent candidate like in Rift Valley, definitely even if he wins on 9th of August and he is elected, he will retreat back to supporting William Ruto and probably even start participating in the activities of the United Democratic Alliance as a way of positioning himself to vie with the same party come 2027. Yeah.
Okay. Today, Kalonzo Musyoka is supposed to appear before the eminent persons, the members doing the interview at Serena Hotel for the position of the running mate of Raila Odinga. And as it is, it's expected that come next week, the president will hit the ground running. What should we expect? Starting with you, Newton.
On the Kalonzo appearing on the panel,
yes,
I feel like
because it's really who's been telling Kalonzo, it's ridiculous for him to appear. I mean, all these other candidates appeared yesterday, so why not him?
Let us give respect to the leaders sometimes, because one, have you ever heard Raila Amolo Odinga being subjected to such things? Never. Why are you subjecting Kalonzo? Because
all these other candidates were subjected to the same panel.
No, those other candidates are the other candidates. You cannot compare the stature of the leadership of Kalonzo Musyoka and the others. Kalonzo Musyoka stands out. And that is why on our end, we are looking forward to having Kalonzo Musyoka on our side.
Then why would you tell Kalonzo Musyoka, the other side of Kenya Kwanza tell Kalonzo Musyoka not to? Because it doesn't belong to Kenya Kwanza, it belongs to Azimio.
Yes, he belongs to Azimio, but you see, an injustice to me is an injustice to everyone. So what we are telling Kalonzo is, we feel like you're being subjected to injustice. Are you getting me?
Because injustice?
Being subjected to be honestly speaking.
But your party leader also appeared for an interview.
Yes, he appeared for an interview.
Did he suffer any prejudice?
No, he did not suffer any prejudice.
And what prejudice will Kalonzo suffer?
Because if you look at the stature of Kalonzo Musyoka on the other side...
So it's about the stature?
Yes. And he deserves respect, honestly.
So what is quite disrespectful there, because everybody goes for an interview if you want to get a job?
No, by the fact
let me ask you something. You are a doctor of medicine, and you're being interviewed with a political scientist. How does that make you? How can that panel bring up the best candidate to be the doctor? It can't. Look at Noah Wekesa. Honestly, you're subjecting the aspirations of this country to Noah Wekesa and Juliet Mohammed of the of this world. Honestly, Kalonzo Musyoka to face Juliet Mohammed on a bench to be interviewed to be the deputy president of this republic.
It's quite an interesting position here, because all the candidates appeared yesterday. We have got Wycliffe Oparanya, Martha Karua attended, yes. Governor Joho appeared, Sabina Chege, as yes. well as Governor Lee Kinyanjui.
Yes.
All of them are looking for a job. And one of the criteria is just appear yes. and give us your credential, yes. tell us what you want to offer, and then from there, that point on, it's now Raila Odinga to make a decision.
Yes.
So why not Kalonzo Musyoka to attend? Because it's expected. We are yet to see whether he's going to attend today or not. Again, Wakili, coming to you. Why Kalonzo Musyoka being pushed not to attend from the other side of Kenya Kwanza?
I think two issues. One, Kalonzo Musyoka is respected and has gotten enough sufficient respect by the fact that he's in the winning trade, that is Azimio. So I don't see any prejudice politically or legally that he'll suffer by appearing before this panel of eminent persons. Secondly, we must look at this running mate or deputy president as what I would call a presumptive president. Yes. In a way that if you are picked to be an running mate of either William Ruto or Raila Odinga, you have a big opportunity of becoming a president at one time, either in 2027 or in 2030, if you are able to strategize well. So why should we not have interview? Secondly, the interviewer, you just appear, they get to understand the person you are, what are you bringing on board, such a thing. And the most important thing is that we even saw Dr. William Ruto appearing to be interviewed, that we thought that was a super idea. So I don't know why now Kalonzo Musyoka seems to be appearing. Okay. He seems to be having a lot of advocates and people from Kenya Kwanza defending him not to appear. Yeah.
Okay. Newton, as we close up, somebody argued that the other side of Kenya Kwanza is trying to push Kalonzo Musyoka not to attend the interview. Once that is done, he's automatically locked out of the race. Yes. Once he's locked out of the race, he doesn't stand a chance of becoming the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. Yeah. Look for post-2022. We have got 2027. He will have very slim chances of rising to the position of the president. So the only idea that don't go, and then he'll be reduced to that level to elevate somebody as the deputy president to that level of now moving to the presidency. If he goes for the interview and gets that position of the deputy president, he will also have higher chances of rising to the position of president come 2027. True or false?
It's true and it is false, depending on how you look at it. One, it does not guarantee you as a political leader that if you're given the deputy president position, you're going to ascend to power. It only happens once or twice in history. Yes. And since independence of this country, we have never had a deputy president ascending to power directly. But this time round, we are going to experience that through His Excellency Dr. William Ruto. Again, what I'm saying is this. You know, in politics, if you can see the other opponent trying to hang themselves, you give them the rope. You get me? And for Kenya Kwanza, honestly speaking, from the way they're approaching this running mate position, they have no option. All options are slippery. And I don't think they are going to make any better decision. If they pick Kalonzo, if they don't pick Kalonzo, if they pick Sabina Chege, if they pick Joho, if they pick whoever, they are still sliding. They have nowhere to hold on. And in Kenya Kwanza, it is so categorical. If you look at all the political parties that are, political leaders that are there, even my own party leader, Justin Muturi, he stands out. And you've not heard him thump chesting saying, I have to be picked, I have to be... No, because he's a man of his own class. He listens, he's a man of integrity, he's a planner, he's a strategist, and he thinks through things before. He has never demanded anything. And he has always stated that in Kenya Kwanza, he's there willingly. But through the willingly, and I've never heard of a man or a political leader in this country who believes in the grace of God, than Justin Muturi. And we believe in Kenya Kwanza from the Democratic Party angle that he stands the best chance to be the running mate to His Excellency William Ruto. Because if you look at him, he has the experience that is required through the legislature, through the judiciary, and all those angles. If you look at him, he stands above par on everybody. But you have not had him thump-chesting to demand that he be given an opportunity. And we are challenging our fellow guys in Azimio. Emulate us. If you cannot beat us, emulate us and join us and let us move forward to win this country.
Just to, as we wind up, you ran for a position in Kakamega County.
Yes.
How was the experience?
The experience was good. Right. Was tough. Yes, as a young person. And I shoved those, my ambition so that I can look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is through the Youth for Kenya Kwanza movement, whereby we are talking with our political party leaders so that we can have an MOU of understanding between them and us young people, because we cover the 70% of this country, the vote basket. And we are saying, as young people, we are tired of the promises, the verbal promises that we are being given. And from that angle, we are saying, from that angle, we are going to do an MOU, a memorandum of understanding, so that whatever we are being promised, that the Kenya Kwanza government is going to form a youth-centric government. The youth should be at the table. And what we are saying simple is, one, we need either the CAS positions to be left for the young people, either we are given 40% of the cabinet secretaries, or we are given 40% of the permanent secretary. And all these parastatal appointments that are there are shown for the young people of this country, because the future is guided by what we do with the young people today.
It's good you tried, and because you tried, you're a winner in that capacity, and the future is still bright.
Very bright.
Absolutely.
Very bright.
Wakili, as well, you also ran for a position. You became number 2. Congratulations. It's a tough battle.
Thank you so much. Before I give my 1-minute experience on running for a position, I want to give this morning a pro bono counsel to one senior counsel, Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. There will be 4 outcomes for any person who will be running for a political seat in Kenya. 1, you'll either be sent to political oblivion, where you'll be forgotten forever. You'll either be politically relevant, where you can still have a chance in 2027 or 2032. You'll either lose or you either win. So it's upon Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to choose between those 4 outcomes. If he goes to Kenya Kwisha, of course, he'll be sent into political oblivion. Kenya Kwanza, sorry. He'll be sent to political oblivion, and of course, they will lose. If he remains in Azimio, whether he will not deputize Raila Odinga, he will be politically relevant in a way that he can be able to run for a political seat in 2027 or 2032. My experience of Vine was good. I take this opportunity to thank the dear people of the Madhya constituency, the great people of Madhya constituency. My slogan was the new Madhya, and I want to tell them and the people of Molanga, the dream still live on.
Absolutely.
Asante.
Thank you so much. Newton Khamasi, who is the spokesperson of Democratic Party, as well as Wakili Irungu Mwangi, advocate of the High Court, as well as a political analyst. Thank you so much. Let's take a break, but when we come back, we'll be crossing over to Radio Taifa and English service, as well as here live on Channel 1. We have got that interview with one Polycarp Igade, who is the gubernatorial aspirant of Nairobi County. Before then, let's take a break. We'll be right back with that big interview.